You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What's up, guys? Welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 188. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I'm joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire, Roshan Warner, at Roro.
I had something I was going to say today, but I forgot what it was.
Okay.
So that's what I'll say today.
Have to remember for next week then.
I won't.
The host of Large Popcorn and video essayist Christian Macias at ISO Christian.
How many of us are on this call right now? I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Top 4. It's coming. Thank you.
It's coming.
Top 4.
He's coming.
He's coming. I don't know who's coming, but somebody's coming.
It's sports.
I'm. Go ahead.
Oh God. The Tarkov Teletubby and the DMZ daddy himself, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins. Nice. Everybody's here for it. Thank you.
That was like, hold on.
Sorry.
That was in my ears, man.
And you know what's
in the room.
You know what's in the listeners' ears? Us. And thank you to every one of them watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is some news on some AMD handheld systems with their new chips on the way. We got some hot and spicy details that just came out a little bit ago. I don't know if Gage saw this yet, but it's going to be spicy. But the show always starts with the quick bites, guys. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Our first quick bite: Sony has officially acquired Firewalk Studios to join the PlayStation Studios family. I think it was about maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit longer ago, that they announced a partnership with them for their, I think, first game, possibly. And now they announced that they are officially acquiring them. So, very interesting.
What do they do? What are they made?
Now they're part of the family.
I don't know that. I think they're a new studio, weren't they, or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wonder what they'll work on.
Is this the one that's Jade Raymond, or no? That's another.
That is nope. That's not even Fire Sprite. That's
Haven Studios, right?
Haven. Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although this is another Pacific Northwest game studio now. They're in Bellevue, Washington, just right outside Seattle.
Interesting. Well,
I sure hope. It sure would be nice if there was some sort of showcase to show us all the stuff that these studios are working on. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, there's rumors.
It's coming. It will return. But
Nice.
Also, guys, Xbox is working on a sequel that they're saying will reportedly take 10 years to develop. My lord, a decade in game development, which I guess isn't that crazy anymore with some of these games that are coming out. But many are speculating that it could be Elder Scrolls 6. It went into pre-production many years ago, so possibly 10 years would, put it in a time frame that would be 2028 maybe, or 2029, something like that. So yeah, a decade.
I don't know if that's like the exciting
No,
like a tagline they think it is, or
yeah,
if that's even what they're trying to do. That's like, dang, 10 years out? 10 years from when it was released or when announced, or 10 years from now?
I think 10 years from when it was, started.
I think it means span of development, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's even in like production now, because I'd gather it was like in early pre-pro when it was announced. Yeah, crazy, a lot of money.
Indeed, a lot of money. And
almost certainly Elder Scrolls too. We're all in agreement on that, right?
I don't know what else it would be, honestly. I don't.
Yeah,
I can't see anything else. Yeah,
Just think about the date 2030, you know?
Seems so far away.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Be old. Very old.
Yeah,
Well, one of us will.
We all age.
Yeah, but some of us faster than others.
Well,
Yeah.
that's debatable. Anywho, Blizzard has announced a final surprise beta weekend for Diablo 4 that is on the way. The timing couldn't be worse for me.
Put it into my fucking veins now.
It is coming May 12th, and it's called the Server Slam. And of course, that date may sound familiar because May 12th is the day that Tears of the Kingdom comes out, Zelda. So
Yeah.
that's rough.
No, Diablo players are freaks. They'll be all over this. Yeah.
Yep.
Gage will be all over it because Gage
I'll be all
doesn't have
over
a
it.
Switch. Yeah.
Fucking server slam, headboard slam, whatever, man.
There is
There's the Venn diagram of Zelda players and Diablo players. There's a little bit overlap.
Me and I'm in there. I'm in that.
Yeah, get up in here, dude. Put it in.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez. And also people can unlock the rewards that were available in the first two betas as well, which is cool, as well as they are adding an additional reward if you are able to beat a Shava, which is the big bad monster, which me and Gage got destroyed by. So good luck to you people. Which actually you ended up beating him, I think, Gage.
I did, yeah. I stayed up till the next world event, and I did. So I wonder if that means that I have to do it, or if I don't have to do it.
I don't.
I know forever.
I don't think you do. I think they said if you earned it previously, I don't think you have to do it again.
Cool.
Yeah.
The big ass dragon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, it's probably not a dragon, but
Some sort of large mass.
dragon looking thing. Yeah, exactly.
Gage will have to,
Exactly. Precisely. It's a large mass.
Gage will have to pull me along and help me beat that.
This next
I
one
will
is
show you the
outdated, by the way.
Oh shoot. It's
Pay
outdated
more
already.
money.
Time just moves so quick. But now, Super Mario Brothers movie is up to a global total of over $900 million. Thank you,
Jesus.
Christian, for updating that. That is insane.
Yes. On track for a bill pretty soon.
Isn't it not
Not really
out
bad.
like worldwide yet? Isn't there some areas that it still
Japan.
needs to? Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's insane.
God,
Crazy.
It's not out in Japan?
I don't think so, or at least it just came out, maybe.
April 28th.
April
is when
28th.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Done deal, dude.
Yeah. Insane. Major
Hello.
props.
I just want to shout out Kurik on the chat. He is here joining us live.
Kuruk. The real ones.
I still have to see it. I still have to see a Super Mario movie.
You're lying.
Yeah, I wish I
Wow.
was. I wish I was. I will be the one to tip it over to $1 billion.
Hell yeah,
My single
brother.
ticket.
You're the
Imagine.
You want to go see Super Mario Bros? I haven't seen it yet either.
Heck
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Wow.
What are we doing here?
Jesus.
We could be watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
We had a review on this movie with only one person that watched it. Ugh,
I had seen it by then, Dan, but I just wasn't around.
that's fair. That's fair. All right. Moving on. A supermajority of workers at Sega America Irvine headquarters has announced unionization. They announced that they're unionizing with the Allied Employees Guild, improving Sega Aegis in partnership with Code CWA. So very good news for the employees at Sega, and seemingly setting another standard to kind of continue this amongst the industry.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Big dub.
Sonic Sweep continues. It's all
You're
thanks
so
to him.
right. You're so right, bestie.
Well, guys, you know what else is right? A Horizon Forbidden West sequel is on the way, maybe? Question mark? Guerrilla Games appears to have quietly announced a Horizon Forbidden West sequel while detailing a management reshuffle on its website. We have full confidence in our new leadership as they steer Guerrilla towards a bright future, expanding the world of Horizon with Aloy's next adventure and our exciting online project. Read a post by Eurogamer announcing the departure of veteran studio director Angie Smets. Very interesting.
I don't know, man. I don't know why they had to like shoehorn in this like, oh, Aloy will be in another game. They could have just done the
return.
No, legit though. Like if you could finish, if you there's non spoilers, but if you finish the sequel, Forbidden West, it's very clear they're positioning like a big third game, and the game sells well enough. It's like, okay, they're probably gonna do a third game, and then if you're gonna announce it in like an exciting way with like, you know, a tease some kind. Just saying on paper, like, hey, we're reorganizing Guerrilla. Congratulations to like the new studio head, by the way. Clearly Sony has faith in them. But then just like, yep, we're working on another Aloy Horizon game. Yeah, of course.
Now the question is,
I don't know why I'm mad about this.
The question is, what game's going to come out during that time frame, you know, of that third game to really screw with it?
A generation-defining one.
Yeah.
Not again. Hopefully the third time's a charm.
GTA
with
6?
actually... Oh no.
Oh,
it could
no.
very well be that. That's actually possible. Oh man. Hopefully third time's a charm, and they don't get a game that is going to outshine it or take away. Maybe not outshine it, but you know, take away that mind share, I guess. Yeah.
Fair. On the back of that as well, Ro, you shared this. Burning Shores is getting review bombed right now, which is, of course, the first DLC expansion for Forbidden West. And Metacritic responded as well. Horizon Forbidden West. Okay, I don't need to read that. That's an explanation of what the game is. Oh, wait. Okay. I didn't read the whole statement there. Okay. I thought it was about to explain what Horizon Forbidden West was. I'm like, what? Why are we explaining it? No, okay. It's the latest game to get review bombed by users on Metacritic, this time over a romance between Aloy and Sika. Is that how you say her name? A new character from the DLC in which the two can share a kiss if a certain dialogue option is selected. Just a few days ago, the user score was a 2.7 out of 10. Now it's risen barely to a 4 out of 10. The most significant difference, however, is that the most helpful user reviews no longer all contain blatant homophobia. They are, however, almost all 0 to 2 out of 10s, now mostly complaining about the writing or PS5 exclusivity or bland characters. Sorting by date, however, we are back to homophobia, and now users are also scoring the game.
Guess who's back?
While complaining that Metacritic is deleting user reviews. Users are now vaguely disguising the homophobia with phrases like, I feel uncomfortable in a particularly absurd scene, 0 out of 10. Understand when a person turns on the video game, they don't want to be participating in cheap and poorly done activism. 0 out of 10.
Bro.
Like,
virtue signaling. Get real. Get a job.
These libs are out of control, man. Women kissing women in today's day and age. This is unacceptable. 0 to 10.
The thing go for it, Christian. Sorry.
They get mad about this, like they don't look up lesbian porn on Pornhub.
Right.
That's what I'd say, bro.
Yeah. There's that, but there's also, because I know the same people who are upset about this are also the same people who are saying that Aloy is ugly, and now they're mad that she's kissing a girl. It's like, it's weird. It's really weird. Christian, sorry.
No, you were leading up to something. I'll add after.
No, just saying that finally Metacritic is seeing this, because this isn't the first game that this has happened to. There's other games that have been wrongfully review bombed for similar things, whether it be The Last of Us Part 2 there was obviously other situations in that game that caused the review bombing, but there were gay characters in that game too. But this happened before, and it's good to see that Metacritic is finally possibly trying to take a stance against unfair reviews on the site. and see how they combat that. I'm interested to see what that's like.
Dude,
but yeah,
it happens for like everything when it's like audience stuff. And the thing about Aloy specifically is like there's like three things here. One is like there was enough room in the original game to label her as some kind of a queer coded character. And I don't mean queer as in like gay specifically, but like some kind of other, right? Where even just asexuality can be queer, because that's different from the norm of like heterosexuality, right? Also, spoilers for the first Horizon, but like the person that Aloy is based on, I think is, if I remember right, she either is a lesbian or we assume her to be based on her relationship that she had in the game. That's one thing. Two, gay people exist. You know what I mean? And three, just get real. Get a job.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I think one of the conversations that I saw around this is like, should Metacritic introduce something where like you have to link your gaming accounts like Xbox, PlayStation, etc.,
Yes.
and you have to actually own the game to be able to review it? Because I feel like that would help stop some of this, or at least, you know, I feel like a majority of it really, because these people complaining about this wouldn't buy it.
I think that's a good idea, because like this is part of this is the tricky thing. Like I feel like simply doing that would skew things more towards reality in terms of what the general populace actually thinks of this game, like in terms of people that actually bought it. But like the tricky part is that if somebody does buy the game and they do give it a 0 or a 2 out of 10, it's like even though they're almost certainly fucking wrong, like they are entitled to do that. But I still feel like having some sort of verification needed would at least skew the averages back to where it should be, because you do have a lot of people just like getting on the bandwagon, and like we've seen this with Last of Us Part 2, we've seen this with the Last of Us HBO series, which is there's a hilarious little graph going around that shows you how there's like a fucking noticeable dip in the ratings for every episode that has like extensive gay characters on screen.
Oh, like episode 3?
Episode 3 and 7 specifically. Like everything else is like 9, 8.9, and then it's like 7, and then it's like up again, and then it's like 6.9. And it's like ridiculous. So like I don't know. I feel like in terms of this specific scenario, needing to link your Xbox account or PlayStation account would be nice. Then there's the logistics of like how does that actually work and how invasive is that? But some sort of thing would be nice, because I like looking at Metacritic as what it's supposed to be, which is a statistic-based tool to like help you make decisions. But that's kind of been thrown out of whack for a while now with all the review bombing going on.
I mean, Steam does that, right? I mean, it's easier because the reviews thing is on their actual platform, but you can't review a game unless you put a certain amount of hours into it. I don't know how the hell you're going to give a game a 0 out of 10, but if you give a game a 0 out of 10 and you've played it, I'll value that 0 out of 10 a little bit more, not much, but a little bit more.
Exactly.
So like at least I knew you played it, but
like you've gone through all the steps to get to that. You know what I mean? Like I think you're wrong, but you've done everything you need to get to that score. Like whatever.
What would even put you at a 0 out of 10? Like the game would have to be non-playable, I feel like, for me.
That's the thing nowadays. Are there any other, like even like with The Last of Us Part 2, like when people were giving it like 4 out of 10, it's like really? Like on graphics and audio alone, are we in the same universe right now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I don't think there's been a 0 out of 10 game released by anyone in the past, like, I don't know, 5 years, like realistically speaking.
Maybe that like major studio, right?
Yes, major studio.
Yeah.
Maybe Balan's Wonderworld.
Oh god.
That's probably the closest.
What is Blue Box Studios doing right now, you think?
Getting acquired, probably.
They're abandoned.
Abandoned.
Yeah. Oh, those guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fake game.
Not good. Not good.
Guys, leave them alone. They're trying their best.
Glenn says Disney Speedstorm is out. That might be a game that gets a 0 out of 10.
Kurik in the chat saying he's giving us 3. He says No Man's Sky 0 out of 10, Cyberpunk 0 out of 10, Fallout 76 0 out of 10.
No, come on.
Even launch No Man's Sky was not a 0 out of 10.
Upon launch.
I still don't think.
I still though, even at launch, man. You're putting me between a rock and a hard place, all right? Because I've labeled you as base this entire podcast, and now
Engage
you're
is
saying some pretty outlandish things right now.
Gage is off and around hard places, if you know what I mean.
That's true. You spend a lot of time with
in
Christian.
Portland? Oh, nice. We went the same. Did the same joke.
He does like all three of them, though. He just says upon launch they were not up to snuff, which I agree with.
And that is fair.
Yeah,
Definitely not up to snuff on launch.
for sure. But you know what is up to snuff at launch?
Oh, God.
Dead Island 2, which has sold 1 million copies in 3 days, which is actually very surprising to me. I didn't expect it to sell that well. So it's seemingly doing well. 1 million copies is not anything to take lightly, I think. And actually, I think from the interest that I've seen other people talking about this game, I think if this game goes on sale eventually for a good price, I may pick it up just as a little bit of a dumb, fun type game. I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, I'm surprised as well by the number, but good for them. Good for them.
For them.
Who's out there playing it? I want to know.
Greg Miller.
Shout out to them, dude. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
That's his job, though. That's different.
That's fair.
Dead Island 2? Apparently it's fun.
Yeah.
Apparently it's exactly... Well, the reason that I think it's grabbing with people is because it's one of those games that we've been talking about where it's not open world. It's just like... It's like, from what I've read, it's hub-based like God of War, like the new God of War, where it's like, oh, you can go off in these different directions, but then as soon as you're done, you have to come back.
It's because it's not woke.
That's true.
Right. No
That's
gay
true.
characters.
Keep these dang lesbians away from my friggin' zombies, or else.
Good point.
Good point.
I was gonna say something, and then I'm like, might be a little too graphic for this show. Two male zombies, you know.
Oh.
Man, what are you going on about, man?
I don't know. Moving on. There's 5 new Redfall themed limited edition controller designs that you can use on Xbox Design Lab right now, which is interesting because I don't know that they've done this before, where you can basically create custom designs in Design Lab. So that's pretty cool to have like these pre-done designs.
They did once. I believe it might have been the Forza one, but they added one of the faceplates as an option. Like, it was a separate controller that they made, but you could also add it in Design Lab and then put your custom stuff on it. They've only done it once before. That's not something that they do normally.
Got it. Honestly, this probably makes more sense for them to do production wise too, because then you're not making 1 million special edition controllers not knowing if people will actually be interested in buying them. From a business perspective, it's makes sense. But anywho, all right. Nintendo, guys, has announced that they will be at Gamescom this year. So that's new. I don't think that they've ever... Have they been to Gamescom in the past?
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to exhibit as well, which is interesting. So they pulled out of all the other conventions like E3 and everything, but they're coming to Gamescom. Does this mean we're getting a Switch announcement there? A sequel announcement?
I don't think so.
No,
that'd be great.
I would doubt
but
that.
I don't think so. Yeah, I have a feeling that this is probably the least fun thing, and in it that it's just them advertising the games that are already out, and you get to play them on the show floor or something like that, and they have nothing to announce. If they're exhibiting, it's not like a presentation. You know how they have booths and stuff.
Wow, you got no hope for this, huh?
No hope. Yeah.
No hope.
No hope.
I've never heard someone more disenfranchised.
That'd be great. I mean, like, what are they going to announce? I don't know. I feel like if they were going to announce something, they would do their own thing.
Yeah, an update on Metroid, or maybe announcing that Metroid Prime 2 and 3 are available to play on Virtual Console or whatever, or on Switch. Smaller updates of that sort.
Could happen. And our last quick bite, guys. Final Fantasy 16 is getting some controller and some PS5 covers that have been announced, custom made, and yeah. Why is it 2 different color blacks?
Be careful with your wording there, Daniel.
I was gonna say something so spicy, but I just left it.
I'll say this: that plate cover, not enough. pretty bland for it to be kind of a special edition for Final Fantasy 16. Obviously,
Yeah.
even the logo is a little bit too small for my taste.
Little tiny.
Controller's kind of nice though.
And for context, I mean like the little section where the
Yeah, no, we got you.
thumbsticks, well, for the audience, it's a different color black.
Whatever you
Right.
whatever you say.
Killing me.
Colorism in video games. Wow.
First, it was lesbians.
You know what? To this day, I say, have you seen your keyboard?
My keyboard, yeah, I have. What you mean?
Is it?
What are you talking about? What's going on?
Riveting podcast material. All these inside jokes no one knows about.
Yeah. What the heck? Street Meets, guys. Ubisoft has reportedly canceled a Splinter Cell Battle Royale. If I could speak, Battle Royale. I still can't say it. Battle Royale game weeks before it was set to be announced. Which, after I read this a little bit, you guys are gonna fucking just destroy me for this. But after I read this article, I was actually somewhat intrigued by because it seems more like an extraction shooter than a battle royale from what I was reading about it. And it sounded fascinating, like if they did it like in like a, if you're in a big factory or something and like you were trying to stealth around and kill people and then extract and steal their loot and extract. I don't know. The idea kind of sounded cool.
We just played a Call of Duty clone that we figured was like not going to last very long. I think an extraction shooter made by Ubisoft is going to last very long, Dan.
I'm not saying
does that get your nostalgia going of all the times that you spent in the Splinter Cell universe doing extraction shooter things?
No, I just thought it sounded cool.
I think it sounds like they need to worry about their franchises and staying true to them instead of turning everything into a fucking battle royale open world.
That is fair.
You know what game looks interesting? The finals. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's neat.
Actually,
that's a neat game. That's innovation.
I knew you guys would destroy me for that. Here we are.
Yeah, that was a bad take.
Okay. Well.
Poor Dan.
Well, on to our second Street Meet item. Armored Core's release date, possibly? Question mark? Christian?
This comes from Insider Gaming. A little while ago, we got confirmation from Gematsu that Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon was rated in Korea. Shout out to them. Shortly after, sources close to Insider Gaming revealed to them that the Armored Core 6 release date is in August, specifically August 25th, 2023. Very soon, and there are speculations now that it will get shown somewhere, either at a maybe like a summer state of play, but more specifically with their relationship to Jeff Keighley at the Summer Game Fest on June 8th.
Very interesting.
Wow. So, sorry, I think I may have missed that. The announcement of the release date will be announced in August, or the release date is in August?
The release date is in August. We know that for sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That is the sources close to them reveal that this is the date.
Okay.
The speculation is when it's going to be announced.
Okay. Cool. Wow. That's way sooner than I thought.
Nice. No, we knew it was going to be this year.
I just didn't think it would be in summer. I thought it'd be later in the year. Yeah. But cool.
FromSoft. Don't doubt them.
I will never do it again. I'm sorry.
Jeff Keighley's got it good with them, getting all the scoops.
Yeah.
How about a scoop like this? PXN News of the Week. Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition has been officially blocked by the UK's CMA, which is their regulatory board. So officially,
CMA, more like
happening.
Can't make acquisition.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Because of cloud gaming.
Yeah. Which is the surprising part of this whole thing. They didn't approve it because of cloud gaming, which seemingly is the most inconsequential thing in this whole thing, in my opinion.
Naturally, we want to protect the cloud gaming market.
Right. I mean, maybe in the future, I could see cloud gaming being in a position to be, to warrant this, but like I don't really understand how that would put them in a better position cloud wise versus anything else.
Daniel, you need to think of the cloud gamers.
They're like virtually none, dude.
Yeah.
That pool is so small. Granted, are they future proofing? You know, like even still, 10 years out, I reckon that pool is still like growing, not anywhere close to ubiquitous as any kind of other platform gaming. You know what I mean? Maybe 15 to 20 years, then we can talk. But
right.
I don't know. Yeah.
And we discussed this a little bit in our DMs, but like I think that this is signifying the nail in the coffin for this deal. I don't see any path forward at this point. They are putting in a appeal. Bobby Kotick talked about how they're appealing, and Microsoft CEO or President Brad Smith, I think, said that they were appealing. But I don't see any way forward because people have been saying that the CMA doesn't typically overturn the rulings like most of the time. I don't personally see them overturning it. And with the FCC deal, with them suing Microsoft to stop the acquisition in the US, I think this is probably the end of it, but obviously not the end because this is going to drag out for months and months. But yeah, I think this effectively kills this deal, which is interesting.
And then they'll owe APK $3 billion in breakup fees.
Yeah.
Bro, I wish I could get breakup fees.
I know, dude. Where's my money?
And you know damn well that Bobby is gonna get a cut of that, which is even worse. Like, and that's the worst thing about this whole thing is that he's still gonna be in charge and
get money for it.
Yeah,
he gets rewarded at the end of the day.
Yep,
he gets a golden parachute either way.
Yeah,
whether the deal goes through or not.
It does.
Right.
That's crazy.
Damn.
What a roller coaster. at least for
weird.
me,
I could have sworn. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. At least I'm sure we may have all felt the same way, or maybe I'm alone in this, where I thought it was going to go through multiple times, and there were multiple times where I thought, no way, this is going through, and then I thought it was going to go through, and now it's not going through. It's like crazy roller coaster.
Articles were out this week saying it's expected to pass.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. That's what I was going to say. I'm not crazy and seeing like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I could have sworn I saw articles saying CMA is expected to approve.
Last night, IGN posted that this is expected to go through, and then this morning was the news. It's like nope. What the frick?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, rest in peace.
We have not heard the last of it. Yeah.
Good job, Jim Ryan.
Good job, Jim Ryan.
No, Phil Harrison supposedly. He's
good job.
Is what I heard.
Phil,
he's to blame essentially. He's the dude that like what? He's the previous before Phil Spencer. He was the guy that what? Harrison, right? The dude that like invested into like cloud gaming, like back when the Xbox One, I think, was announced.
Oh, I see. Because Phil Harrison was with Sony, and then he joined Microsoft. Yeah, around that time. Yep. Actually, there's a funny meme that Phil Harrison has killed everything because
that's what I saw. Like it was regarding that. Yeah,
okay. I thought
he's the one to blame for this. Essentially,
I gotcha. Yeah,
that's crazy.
He killed Xbox One launch. He killed PS3. He killed Google Stadia. He killed it all.
And now this acquisition, and he's not even at Xbox.
Yeah. Interesting.
Everything he touches turns to shit.
Oh, you know what doesn't turn to shit? Hey, that was good. Yeah. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has gotten some gameplay impressions being broadcast everywhere. Oh my gosh, it looks so freaking good, guys. So good. There's a lot of shit in there. Did you guys have a chance to see any of these impressions, videos, or anything?
I saw 2 15-second clips on Twitter.
That's fair.
Exactly 2.
I mentioned this to you, Dan, but yes. I watched Skill Up's preview and I watched Good Vibes Gaming preview. And I was watching a little bit of Brian Altano's when you were saying that you were watching it. But yeah, I agree. Looking crazy.
Yeah, some of the things that Brian was making, the vehicles and stuff he was making, was getting me excited to check those out. And like I put it in here as well, but one of the cool things that I thought about that was if you build like a really cool vehicle that you really like, you can save that blueprint, so to speak, so that you can continuously build it in the future without having to like, oh man, what did I do there? Like having to remember that. It'll just save that for you, which is really cool. Very.
Okay, I
It's
need
so
to.
nuts.
Bro, it's so stupid. I just bring your games to PC. Like, I'm so salty about this. That this game looks fucking fantastic, but I refuse to play it. I'm not buying your stupid console. Dude,
Damn,
this game looks
fail.
incredible, though. Like, I'm in a weird spot where I hate it. I hate it, but also if it was on PC, I would be there in a second.
Yeah.
Kind of a.
I don't feel you. I'm playing it on the Switch. I'll enjoy it on the Switch, but
Yeah.
I feel bad for you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Feel bad for you, son.
The only thing that kind of bummed me out was that, like, the first thing I saw about this was that Gene Park in the morning with his Washington Post impressions was like, there are dungeons. And then I looked in the comments and Brown Tunnel, I was like, I don't think that was a dungeon. And then the whole day, people have been like quote tweeting Gene Park, being like, "Oh my god, dungeons are coming." And it's like, I don't think that's true. Unfortunately, I'm kind of bummed, but games, it looks good.
Be fun to find out. What I liked it.
Fun up.
Sorry, go ahead.
What's the importance of dungeons? And what do you mean? Like, what's
They're
the big
everything.
deal?
They're everything, man.
Oh,
Breath of the Wild is like the only Zelda game that does not have dungeons. Dungeons are like the very very like huge like boss areas where like you have to go through and like how do I explain dungeons? I don't know.
Like solve puzzles, like
like
really
I know what a
interesting-
dungeon is. I just didn't
Yeah.
know what the importance was to the Zelda franchise of why.
They're just really fun. They're just really fun and kind of like a staple in this series. So when we didn't have them for a bit, it was kind of, you felt it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Here's an example for you, Gage. When we went into one of those areas in Diablo 4 beta and you got to the end and fought the boss, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Okay.
What I
Like-
really like, oh sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like in older games, like you would finally make it like into the dungeon, and you get like a new item that you can use along the way, and then you have to use this item to traverse like this huge area, solve puzzles, backtrack, mini bosses, and then the big boss, and then like now the whole game opens up now that you have access to like this new item that you required in the dungeon. So Breath of the Wild was
okay.
the only game that did not have that.
Oh no. Kirik says I was perfectly happy without dungeons.
Uh-oh. Kirik, see? That's not me. Like, it's Kirik. Today, you're off your rocker, my guy.
I mean, yeah, okay. I won't say anything. Zelda's Breath of the Wild is a fantastic game, so it not having dungeons, I guess, didn't really ruin it. But it would be great if it did. You
Yeah.
know, that's where I am on it.
Yes.
But what I really liked about the previews and watching multiple is how everybody attacked the same situation so differently, and how there's like a enemy outpost, and the Nintendo Treehouse people told them, okay, get inside of that tower, and everybody had like a different way of getting in there, whether it's just storming the entrance or crafting I don't know, an airplane to get over all the enemies or use the abilities. And it's like, I love that. So cool.
Someone was like sneaking through by using the one that like makes you go through like ceilings.
Yes, yeah. That's really cool.
And
there was
oh, sorry, go ahead.
There was another puzzle that someone had to do, and this was funny because almost everyone did this one the same way, in a way where they just avoided the logical thing to do, which was use the thing to make the path to get to the thing, but everybody just made something to avoid using the path to get to the thing. And then once they got to the thing, the people were like, you could have just turned this and you could have used the path. It's like, oh. But what I did was more fun. And it's like, I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, Brian, in his preview, Brian was like, you can actually turn this? What the heck? I know what you're talking about, that point. Yeah.
Almost everybody did not turn it. It was funny.
Yeah.
Gaming.
Very cool. You briefly mentioned Gene Park, Christian. He posted as well, talking about performance. He said it performs quite well. I barely noticed any frame rate drops that were as bad as Breath of the Wild. The image looks really sharp too. He says at the very least, this isn't just a Wii U port like Breath of the Wild. This is pushing the Switch to the limit. The draw distance is massive, which, man, the previews definitely showed that very well. Like, I was surprised at how nice the draw distance was, especially like in the floating islands and stuff, and still seeing like far into the distance in the land below. That it looks very impressive technologically.
Yeah.
See,
this is when
maybe I'm just a hater boy, but like the tagline "pushing the Switch to its limits" doesn't sound all that impressive.
Might sound a little scary in like some other context.
That's true.
It's like, oh no.
That's fair. This is all out my ignorance. And when I sent this to the DM and the Twitter chat, our private little Twitter group, I had completely forgotten that Breath of the Wild was a port of a Wii U game, and that's why it suffered like performance issues. Fuck, I had forgotten about that.
You know
So it
what's
makes
funny?
sense.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that at work the other day, and I laughed it off because I thought they were making a joke until this came up in our Twitter chat, and then I also realized I was like, oh yeah,
Dude,
no, that's right, yeah.
Am I like Bernstein Bear? What do they call that? The Mandela affecting my own
Right.
life? Has it always been this way? I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it makes sense that this is performing a lot better. So that's very satisfying for me to hear. But Gage is right, pushing it to its limits, like, you know what I mean?
We are pushing
Compare
this 25cc motorbike to its absolute limit. Okay.
45
All right.
miles per hour, or whatever.
You know what, guys? Maybe this is Nintendo's last hurrah. This is their last, go, and then
Song.
here comes
You
Gamescom.
keep saying this.
Here comes
And then they become a
Absolutely not.
publisher? I
Absolutely not.
wish. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
The Switch is still selling too many units for them to just completely abandon it for a Switch 2, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why that keeps popping up. That's not the
I
Switch.
don't-
If anything, has just solidified that they're not going anywhere.
I don't know though, because the 3DS was still selling very well when the Switch came out. So like,
Yeah, but those games, like there's only a very few games that were like 3DS only games, if I remember correctly, right?
yeah,
Most are backwards compatible.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know, to be honest. I only played
Help me
a
out,
handful
Ro.
of 3DS games.
Backwards compatible with what?
3DS and DS.
Oh yes, they were backwards compatible, right?
The 3DS? Yeah, you could play DS games on it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
I don't
I'm saying
understand.
games made for 3DS.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say here? How do I explain this? I don't remember any like many 3DS only games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, bruv, I don't know.
I
what
mean,
you mean.
I guess.
Like,
yeah, I
Like,
don't
there
know.
weren't any PS4 Pro only games. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know though,
Right.
because like Smash Brothers for
Let's
3DS and
Google.
Wii U, those were two different games, right? Like they both had the same name, but they were two different games, if I'm remembering correctly. The Smash Brothers for 3DS versus Wii U.
Oh man,
but
There's
the
he-
Wii U.
there's
came out
hella 3DS only games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think the 3DS was selling as much as it was before the Switch came out, though, was it?
Like
I don't know.
This guy
when-
was
I
not
could be
paying
wrong.
attention.
I
Ro
could
was
be-
not even paying attention.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's happening. You guys, I mean,
I've lost my own thoughts of what happened. I don't know.
sounds like Christian just went off
No.
the rails as he normally does.
Hold on. No, hold on. We were saying that the Switch is still selling well, so
Yep.
there probably should be no reason for a Switch 2 to completely abandon the Switch. To which Daniel said, "Well, the 3DS happened, right?
Mhm.
Along those lines." Nintendo made 3DS only games, right?
Yes.
So it's
So-
not beyond the realm of possibility that they would do this with Switch 2.
Let me throw
Correct, Daniel?
this. Let me throw this out there. The 3DS
Okay.
sold 7.27 million units in 2017 when the Switch came out, and the Switch came out April of that year.
Yeah.
So it was
Not bad.
still selling
Damn.
pretty well.
Not bad.
I don't
You
know.
got me there.
I'm not trying to get anyone. I just thought it was interesting because like there has to be a time we switch over. Like when is it coming, Nintendo? Come on. Anywho. All right. Fantasy draft check-in, guys. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is coming out in 2 days, but we have reviews right now. Open Critic, it is sitting at an 86 right now, which gives me a cool 16 points. Yes, 92% critics recommend it. I think from the stuff I've read, people have said that it's seemingly improving on a lot of aspects from the original. Although, Christian, you did link me with someone else that kind of said the opposite of that. So I thought that was interesting as well.
He's an outlier, though.
Okay.
I think consensus is that it what you just said. People are
Gotcha.
enjoying it more than not enjoying it.
Okay. Fair. So yeah, I mean, it's backed up by that, by its 86 score. I think the original was in the low 80s. So it's cool that seemingly got better.
This is one I didn't send, but fair warning to the PC players out there who are wanting to play Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Got to talk about that colon there. Was very much not made for keyboard in mind. Like, it's very much, you can tell, like, it was made for controller. And apparently a lot of PC is, like, unlike many of the other games that have come out in the past year or two, not up to snuff for, performance-wise. Easier on consoles.
No bueno.
Oh boy, no. Sorry, Gage. Anywho, let's stack up our points here. Florida Man Publishing, Gage Dempster, you're sitting at 25 points still.
Is that last?
No, I'm last.
Hell yeah.
But Christian hasn't picked up anything yet, so
I gotta pick up some games. Yeah, I should do that.
You do. We're almost to May. You gotta get some games on the board. Saliva Gang PDX Christian's team has 11 points. Nice name. The Lockhart's Rose team has 15 points. Ro also needs to pick up some games.
Atomic Heart kind of scarred me. I'm like afraid to make any decisions now.
and Lightfall, actually.
Lightfall, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Ugh. And I am in first with, well, it says 78, but it hasn't calculated the 16 from Survivor yet, so that would put me...
So you got even more than that.
That would put me at 94 points in first place.
I don't want to play anymore. I don't even want to, shake your hand. Call it a day. Don't forget, Dan, by the way, I just remembered, as we spoke, we have a popcorn bet going on, you and me.
We do?
Remember this?
I forget. Yeah.
I remember.
Okay.
You want to hear it, or you want to just wait till it happens next month?
I want to hear it.
Okay. Daniel bet that on May 12th, there will be a day one patch for Tears of the Kingdom. And I said, there's no way in hell that happens.
We'll see. We shall see.
No, it's good. That's a good bet.
It's a good
There will
bet.
definitely be one for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, though.
Absolutely. Yep. Which that was one of the downfalls people were talking about. There are some technical issues with Jedi Survivor, because I think they did say there's a day one patch that reviewers hadn't played with that yet. So I guess we'll see.
There was a good article regarding the reviews of this game, but I guess the telos of that was that it regarded like, what do we value more in reviews? Someone who has not beaten the game but played a finished product of it, even though it's 10 hours in, or someone who completed the game that not the finished product. What do you value more?
That's
such an interesting question.
It has to be the person who plays the finished product, right? Because that's what you're getting in your hands. That is a very interesting question, though.
Mm-hmm. One that I hadn't really thought of, to be honest, until that was posited on Twitter.
It's gonna be really awkward when we all decide to revisit the whole ethics and journalism thing, and we have to kind of backtrack a little bit, because there's questions to be asked. That, you know what I mean? It's a lot of the times it's not fair for the reviewers with the sort of deadlines they have to work in. But I don't know. It's interesting.
We also have a review coming up here soon. Redfall release date is May 2nd. Is that right? Is it that soon?
My God.
Next Tuesday?
Dude, this has been such... You want to talk about roller coasters with the whole Activision thing. Me picking up this game has been such a fucking roller coaster. I've gone from feeling so high on it to oh my God, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to do.
By next week, we should know, I think.
I almost don't want to find out, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a little nerve-wracking, this one, huh?
Yeah.
Then we got May 12th, of course, Zelda not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom for Christian's team.
I got that one?
Yeah, you got it.
Wag, dude.
Yeah.
I love this game now. I want to keep playing.
10 out of 10. Keurig also
For real.
says Firmament coming out on May 18th, which I'm not familiar with that game, but I looked it up and apparently it's a puzzle adventure game. So, from the studio behind Mist and Riven.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. So I was
Very
not
cool.
familiar with it.
All right, Keurig, you got me back.
Well, Christian, you could pick it up. Fancy
Yeah,
critic.
no, I'm all right.
You know? Yeah.
I just heard about this game. I'm not gonna,
That's
start betting
fair.
money on it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, moving into what you got for me, Daniel. What you got for me? Oh, thanks, Daniel. So I picked up my Switch, okay, guys, for the first time in over a year, maybe years even. I don't even know. And I was firm. I picked it up because I was like, I think I'm gonna buy Skyward Sword and play that because I haven't played it. And you guys were like, oh, that'd be a cool one to buy. Well, I turned it on and then I saw a game on the front screen and I'm like, well, fuck, I never finished that. So I should just go ahead and do that. So I've been playing Super Mario 3D World, which I already owned and I just hadn't. To be fair, though, I beat it on Wii U. I just never beat it on Switch. Yeah.
So you have the plus Bowser's Fury?
Yes. And I've never played the Bowser's Fury stuff, so I'm really intrigued to try that.
On Wii U, did you complete the actual completion where you go to do the challenge levels?
Probably not.
That is where the game actually gets good. I didn't like the earlier stuff. Levels are too easy. I'm sorry.
They are.
I'm too good at Mario games.
Oh, I'm just so good.
No, that's
so good.
That's very fair. It is very easy, and I don't find myself as enamored with it as I was with Mario Odyssey, but I'm having a good time with it at least. I've been picking it up at night before bed, just has a little chill down thing. So pretty cool. Yeah.
At night before bed, so you're playing it around 4:30?
PM? Because he's old?
I'm not even home from work by that time. What do you mean?
Doesn't matter. I got what I needed out of that interaction.
Yeah, of course you did.
Little cream of wheat in Mario 3D World.
Roshan, take me out of freaking here because these guys are killing me. What you got for me?
I've been playing a little bit of Mario as well. Actually, I picked up or I re-downloaded the 3D All Stars collection, and I was playing a bit of Sunshine for the same reason you're playing 3D World, just as a little wind down game.
Heck yeah!
Because I really like Sunshine, and yeah, that's that's really it. That's all I think. It's such a good game. Such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing, and I've been thinking wow, I've really not been playing a lot of games recently. And Coffee Talk came out, and I booted that up for maybe 10 seconds, and then I stopped. Yeah, things are slowing down for me in the gaming side of things. I think the next game that I'm going to be playing is probably Breath of the Wild, that I actually play and finish. Or Tears of the Kingdom, sorry. I keep doing that. But yeah, that's probably the next thing that I'll say, because next week I predicted right now I'm probably going to have nothing. But at least I had something this week. A little sunshine.
Respect.
You know what I just realized?
What?
I don't think I actually played Super Mario 3D World on Wii U.
I think I lied.
Well, no, I was thinking about it.
So you're a liar.
No, I was thinking about it. I think I played 3D Land on 3DS, not 3D World. I skipped.
So not what you claimed earlier, then.
Yeah, but I'm playing it on Switch right now, so
a better console.
True. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That's true.
Because I did sell my Wii U pretty quickly. Because
Wow.
Sure. I won't knock you.
Fair. Christian, what you got for me?
I was supposed to have beaten RE4 remake by today. I still haven't. I'm close. I think I'm on the final chapter.
Wait.
What I have been playing.
The final chapter? Are you sure?
Yeah. Well,
because
do you want to say how many chapters there are?
I think 17.
I think 16.
I guess I'm not. Yeah.
Because
I'm either on 16 or I'm on 15.
Because the last chapter is very quick. It's
Oh, then I'm probably 2 away then.
Okay.
What I have been playing instead is a lot of Destiny. Just shy of 1800. A lot of Iron Banner, getting my pinnacles for the week. Dungeons. So like we made like a new clan based on what I said last week, where we're like our friend group now has 2 of each class, 2 hunters, 2 titans, 2 warlocks. And what we decided to do as a friend group, since there are 3 people or 2 people who have never raided before, is to go through all the raids that are available to us together as a fire team. So just knock them all out together over the course of like a week or 2, and that should be a lot of fun, just to experience all that together again. So
that'd be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Guardian games next week. Guardian games.
Oh yeah,
the Olympics for Guardians. Yeah.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Are they bringing back racing?
Sparrow racing?
Nope, they will never do
SRL?
that. It pisses me off so much.
That's so
I'm so
stupid.
angry.
They released something, everyone loved it, and they're like, "Cool, we're
Never
not
again.
doing it ever."
But we'll bring
again.
back Guardian games. We know how much you love it.
Dude,
Was
I
there
didn't talk
complaints
about
about
this last week.
Sparrow League Racing? Because I remember everyone loving it. Like, I'm just so confused.
No, yeah, it was a thing that everybody loved. I'm confused as well.
I'm guessing it takes too much development, is what my guess is.
This is the one thing that they could reskin, and I
That's
wouldn't
fair.
care. Just do
Yeah.
the same thing over and over again.
sure.
I would
Sure.
love it. They
Here's the
reskin
thing
the
about
thing that they
Bungie.
bring back anyway.
Yeah. I'm sorry, they had more.
No, that was it.
Here's the thing about Bungie that I had forgotten about is like I forgot about talking about this last week, but they were like on Wednesday or maybe like Tuesday night last week, they released a patch. And that patch brought forth numerous audio issues. And it broke a lot of things. Chief among them was like audio issues. Like you have to go into your settings and turn off 3D audio on PlayStation, or else you just get like this horrible crackling noise. It's disgusting. You can't like make noises out at all. They still have yet to fix that. It's been like over a week. However, what they did fix was like when they found out there was like a small exploit with the economy, it was fixed within like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, they really got on that. But when it's like game breaking stuff, it's like take your sweet time, Bungie, I guess.
Amen.
I'm done.
Amen, brother.
You just say "stay mad, brother."
No, I said amen,
mad.
brother. Stay mad, brother. Oh, I'd say that.
I was like, Dan's getting spicy today. I like it.
No. Gage, what she got for me?
I got a whole lot of nothing, my guy. Actually, that's not true. It doesn't deserve to be called nothing because it's beautiful. I've actually started playing Hades again.
Nice.
Yep, I've now put just as much time into it after fully completing it that I did before. Like I can't stop playing this game. It's so fucking good, and especially with when we get into TOTS, like that's kind of what I've been eyeing up a little bit in terms of connecting those two worlds, if you know what I mean.
Hell yeah, we're getting a sequel to that game.
We're getting a sequel, and it looks good. It looks
cannot
so
wait.
good.
What a time to be alive.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Hades, and then what else? Nothing else really. I'm getting into racing games again because I'm becoming a car junkie, so that's cool.
Yes. You're on PC. Just download a set of Corsa with me so we can just like. No, we'll get into this later.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move into the topic of the show, guys. As Gage alluded to, AMD has announced the Ryzen Z1 and Z1 Extreme for handheld gaming PCs.
Hell yeah.
The Ryzen Z1 Extreme has 8.6 teraflops of performance, which is more than the Xbox One X. I gotta carefully say that.
Yes,
More than the Xbox One X. Yes. Anywho. The Ryzen Z1 Extreme pairs 8 AMD Zen 4 CPU cores and 16 threads of 12 with its RDNA 3 graphics and comes with 24 megabytes of cache and promises up to a whopping 8.6 teraflops of raw graphic performance. Far closer to the 10.28 teraflops of a Sony PS5 than the 1.6 teraflops you get with a Steam Deck. Put that all in perspective there. So it's about 6 or 7 times more powerful, maybe not that much, than the Steam Deck. It's very impressive.
It's still a substantial amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the normal one, the Z1 not extreme, has up to 2.8 teraflops of performance. So not quite as much, but still more than the Steam Deck in its own right. So this brings up interesting questions about what's coming and what's on the way, which we have one that's officially confirmed. Asus ROG Ally is officially confirmed, and it is coming with a release date of May 11th, which is very soon, and it will be priced under $1,000 according to reports. Now, after this report came out, Tom Warren posted a retweet of someone else that seemed to have more details. And again, take this with a grain of salt because I don't know who this person is. They're called Snoopy Tech, but I would imagine if Tom Warren's retweeting it, it has some kind of legitimacy. But here's a little thread for you. A 7-inch fully HD, so 1080p, 120 hertz screen, which is 120 frames per second. That'd be crazy on a handheld.
And is OLED.
And is OLED.
And is
Oh
OLED.
shit! What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
And it uses the AMD Z1 Extreme, which is the one that has the more graphics capability we just talked about. 16 gigs of RAM, which is insane. AMD Radeon Navi 3 graphics and 512 gig SSD, which is also beefy compared to Steam Deck, which I think that's the top
UFS,
gen.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you get the top end, you get the SSD, but the other ones are just UFS 3.1, I think, right?
I think that's correct. Yes. And it also has Dolby Atmos surround sound, according to this. Play almost any game that runs on Windows, Steam, GOG, Xbox Game Pass, GeForce Now, Android, and more. That's seemingly very beefy. And the price point he is saying is $699, which is very good price, I think, compared to the Steam.
If they hit that, that is insane.
No. Look at the replies. The first
there?
one, I doubt this price is real. Tom Warren agreed. Then why are you retweeting this?
Oh, I didn't see that. What the heck?
Okay, but if you go further, he's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth because then somebody mentions
Sure.
Because then somebody mentions that they're skeptical as well, and he actually backs it up and says that Microsoft has apparently partnered with Asus, but they haven't given any sort of official numbers. So if they're getting some funding from Microsoft, they might be willing to take a hit on the price. So
Yes.
yeah, this Tech Snoopy guy, I've seen him a few times. He's, it's hit or miss, but he's definitely given accurate information before. I'm pretty sure he actually leaked the specs of this well before they were fully announced.
And one of Microsoft's bigwigs, I think, is attending their reveal event too. Like,
I think this is kind of like a Samsung deal where they're heavily investing, but maybe just kind of not talking about it as much. Which, if that is the case, then if they're able to hit this price, 700 American, that's insane. That you are getting so much bang for your buck. And there have been some hands-on videos that I've watched. I will continue to say that if you want unbiased tech reviews, Linus Tech Tips is probably one of the best places to go in terms of just getting brutal, honest opinion. And he was pretty impressed with the system overall. And apparently, like, on paper, like when you look at the teraflops and all that stuff, it's like 6 to 8 or 6 to 7% times the performance. On an actual sort of real world use, you're getting 50% to double the performance of a Steam Deck, which is still incredibly impressive, considering that you have a 1080p OLED 120 hertz screen.
Gage, you were just talking about wanting to like downsize and like get rid of your PC, and I know this may not necessarily fit this may not fit that niche, but like this may like intrigue you to like kind of do that and then have just like a little laptop or something on the side for other things.
I'm definitely eyeing this up, especially with my new position at my job where there's sometimes a lot of downtime. This thing looks incredible, and I wanted to jump on the Steam Deck, but it was like there was not that much of a performance increase over the Switch. Whereas I'm looking at this and I'm like, you can watch hands-on previews right now of people playing Forza Horizon 5. Now, yeah, battery life, of course, it's a handheld. Of course you're going to drain it. But this is the thing. People bring that up, and I'm like, we also live in a time, like, battery banks exist. You guys realize this, right? You can go to fucking Walmart and get a battery bank for $30. Anyways, that's besides the point. There's video right now of people playing Forza Horizon 5 maxed out in 1080, getting above 60 frames steady on a handheld. I'm like, what? On an OLED? Like, what is this? This is so cool, man. This is so cool. I'm all about this.
Nice place to play Hades, though. Hades 2.
Perfect place to play Hades, which is what my little reference was to earlier. That's why I'm eyeing this up. Stardew Valley, Moonlighter, Hades. Like this people are saying like you're not going to use the 120 hertz because it's like, well, there's a whole genre of games that are not super graphically demanding that are still gorgeous that'll pop on an OLED that you will be able to make use of that 120 hertz. Like Hades is so like, especially if you're grinding out the packs of punishment like I've been doing, and like, oh man, this sounds perfect for that. Like this looks like an impressive little machine.
It does sound perfect.
I'd say my only concern with this is, and this is talking about the totality of it, not the specific device. Are developers going to optimize all of these devices to be like, perfectly optimized on PC? Because already we're seeing PC games not getting proper optimization by developers. Like, and I feel like the more platforms that are out there, the more we're going to get like developers that are just like, all right, we're not going to focus on this one. We're not going to focus on this one. We're just going to focus on this one. And like, some of them have worse experiences as a result.
Right.
That's my only concern. And
like, I hate to be an Asus fanboy right now, but like just with this machine, like every time there's like a concern, like this, I don't know if this thread mentioned it. This runs stock Windows 11. Like that. Yeah. So when you're playing Steam, this just registers as a PC. Like it's not like its own UI or own operating system. This just runs stock Windows 11.
Yeah. So you're implying that there would not have to be any further optimization as long as it's well made for PC. You would have no issues playing on.
I mean, this is, the system on a chip is essentially just another. It's probably just going to read as another AMD chip, and then the graphics card, like I said, RDNA 3. So it's no different than just if they released, if tomorrow AMD announced a 6970 or something.
That's
then
true.
It's no different than that. Now, if it was running its own UI and every game had to be optimized to like, that would be,
true.
Wow, this could be huge.
Could be huge.
I love stuff like this. I don't have a Steam Deck yet, but it's definitely something that I would love to get as someone who loves handheld gaming. Me and Dan keep talking about how much we play the Switch handheld, even though we have a TV right in front of us, we still play it handheld. And yeah, like if PlayStation in this world where PlayStation has a PS5 and they have a PS Vita that plays the PS5 games, I would buy the PS Vita. Like I wouldn't get the console. I would just want to play those games handheld. I would play Final Fantasy 16 handheld if I could.
Right.
But yeah, it coming in at this price for the, like Gage was saying, really great bang for your buck. I don't know if I would get it right away. Obviously, I don't have the Steam Deck yet. If I could, I would already have it. But in the grand scheme of things, this is pretty affordable for what it's offering. I think it's really cool.
We should. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
We should mention as well that there is just some other cool things that Asus is doing with this. Is that they do have a dock in development. They are planning to add horsepower to the machine with the dock, which is something that I think was an oversight with the Steam Deck, because that would have been great. And then Dan, you and I talked about this in the group chat. The wide availability is not necessarily there yet, but they do have support for eGPUs, which they actually have. Asus makes their own, so even though you'd have to pay proprietary prices, like the fact that you can, somebody who doesn't want to ever deal with like the ins and outs and driver updates and all that stuff, like you can, the path forward with this machine is there, that you could buy this and then eventually, a year or two from there, you could buy the eGPU for like $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever it is. And then you could get the dock, and then like you have the handheld, which is already pretty impressive performance. And then you can actually dock it and get more performance for when you want to play it on your TV. So like everything about this, it seems like they And actually, there's been some stories breaking that they've actually been working on this for years and just never told anybody. Because there's a bunch of like different design phases that are leaking now. Of like they went through like apparently like 10 or 15 different designs in this thing over the course of like 5 years back. So it seems like they almost waited with the Steam Deck and looked at like what everything like that people were kind of like wanting. And like I said, like when you look on paper, like we'll have to wait and see in the wild, but like this thing looks incredibly impressive. It looks like they really took all the qualms and like the wants that people had with the Steam Deck, and they're like, okay, we're doing it.
You know what's interesting? This is the most powerful chip that they announced. What if they built one that's with the standard chip that's still more powerful than the Steam Deck, and assumingly that would be a much cheaper price, like they could get it probably maybe $500 or something. Like that would be extremely attractive.
So if you dig through not Tom Warren's thread, but the person he quote tweeted that leaked it, he actually says that same thing, that the $700 one is the Z1 Extreme, and that he's expecting there to be a cheaper option. So you're actually onto something, Dan, that what we're seeing is incredible bang for your buck, but there might even be better value if you don't care that much.
Very cool.
What does that compare to the base model of the Steam Deck? Is it like around 800?
The base model? No, base model is closer to 500, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay, then I'm silly.
Yeah, because I think the max Steam Deck is like $649, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is like marginally more impressive tech-wise than...
Absolutely, because the Steam Deck, I think, is running 800p, which is really 720p, but it's just a different aspect ratio.
Sure.
And 60 hertz, non-OLED, I think IPS. And then, like Dan said, unless you're getting the top tier one, you're getting UFS storage, which is pretty much just USB storage. And no extra horsepower with the dock. So like, Asus ROG Ally is looking real good right now. And then let's also just talk about like the design, like the physical design of the device is also just pretty attractive, right? So you've got all this impressive tech, a potentially really impressive price tag, and then the cherry on top is that the machine, in my opinion, actually just looks nicer than the Steam Deck. Like they've got a bit of flair to it.
All the RGB stuff you can do to it, really cool.
Now, which Dan, again is two-toned.
That's true, Dan. That's true. What are you gonna do?
That's fair, but the difference is the second tone is on buttons and like D-pads and stuff like that. It's not on the actual design of the controller. So like, yeah, I feel like that's a little different, but still, I would prefer it to be all one.
It's entirely different. I'm just being an ass.
Also, apparently May 11th is when it's launching.
Yes,
I don't know if
that still sounds so crazy to me without it being like announced. Was it just like a day and date, like it's out now?
They have an event scheduled.
Oh, do they?
Frick, I forget what day it is, but yeah, they have 3 people that are kind of hosting the event, which one of them is the Microsoft person that's high up. See if I can find that real quick. Yeah. The launch event is on May 11th. So
got it.
They're holding the event on May 11th.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it does.
Does it launch? I could have sworn I heard someone say that it launches on May 11th, but I was just being dyslexic and it's the launch event.
I think it's both. So it is a special launch event and it's coming May 11th. So they're
launching a console.
Yeah.
Day before Zelda.
Yeah.
So this is a cool moment in tech because they announced this on April Fool's and everyone assumed it was April Fool's.
That's true.
And then a couple days went by and they're like, just kidding, we're actually making this. People were still skeptical. And like I said, it's come out now that they've been working on this for like a good long while. So it's not like they're just on a whim. Everything about this, they've just gone about this the right way. Like this is kind of like a rare moment in tech. I feel like we should be giving Asus a lot of love right now. And now if it comes out and it's a dud, like then that's totally different, right? But as of right now, this is looking real good.
All right. So the ROG Ally.
You know what else is looking real good?
ROG, Dan. ROG.
Whatever. ROG Ally. That's in the dust. Now let's move on to what else we could see maybe from this. Could the next gen Nintendo Switch use one of these chips? And personally, like,
I think maybe not the extreme.
Yes, agreed. And like the other thing is the Nintendo Switch in its current iteration uses the NVIDIA Tegra chip, which is their mobile processing chip, which NVIDIA is historically more expensive than AMD. But I don't think when the Switch came out, AMD was as far along as they are now in terms of like their mobile chips. So I think that I would think that Nintendo is going to switch to AMD because, of course, Xbox and PlayStation both switched to AMD from NVIDIA previously on their old consoles. So I think it's very possible that we see a switch there, and like the price point could be pretty feasible for them, at least for the lower tiered Z1, not the Z1 Extreme.
Right.
So possibly, maybe it
Hopefully-
really is coming. Gamescom, maybe it's coming.
Hopefully, hopefully they're not locked into some sort of agreement with NVIDIA because,
True.
yeah, you get way more performance. And PlayStation and Xbox have been using AMD processors and graphics since what? Xbox One generation? I think 360 was the last
Correct.
time that they used NVIDIA. Yeah.
Yep.
So like, but you're right. Like AMD hasn't offered a system on a chip until like recently, right? So.
For me, it's just tough to imagine Nintendo doing anything that is utilizing newer tech and something that's going to be like hardware that's close to as powerful as its other competitors, RE, Xbox, PlayStation, because that like Nintendo has never really screamed that to me, especially like when you look at their practice, they just haven't really done that. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's still tough for me to imagine. And then I also think about like in terms of like price and affordability. Usually like they're just it's close, but they're a little bit more affordable than its competitors. So and they favor style over graphical fidelity, even though Zelda Nintendo games with like high graphics would be kind of nice, you know what I mean? But still, so it is tough for me to think about. It'd be nice.
But like they could even devote that extra horsepower to like when I look at clips of like Tears of the Kingdom and I see like the cool like Banjo-Kazooie-esque stuff you can do in that. I'm like, well, this is running on a toaster now. So even if they just kept the graphics the same and used all that extra horsepower for like behind the scenes stuff, like especially like when you look at games like Mario Kart and like Super Mario and all, like they could do some really cool things. I feel like you're totally right, Christian. It's the difference between what Nintendo wants and what the developers want. I'm sure the developers would love to have extra horsepower and then just choose not to use it if they don't want to. But you're right, Nintendo wants to hit that affordability, and it's just like you have two of these sides butting heads now.
If there's a Switch 2 with this chip in it, I'm buying it.
Oh, that'll be that'll be tough. That's the thing. If I go and I get this ROG Ally and then they announce a Switch 2 with the same chip, I'm like, well,
you have to get it though, because
just
Nintendo.
get both.
Yeah. Bro, are you down with this idea? Are you wanting this chip in the next
I want this chip in me. Yeah, I would love it.
I just changed my name.
I would love it. I would love it if Nintendo used this chip. I am kind of siding with Christian though. It's hard for me to imagine them actually doing it. I can't even think of a reason besides them being Nintendo. But it'll be great. I would love to see what Nintendo could do with that. But I was thinking when Christian was saying Nintendo has never, and I've said it before too, that Nintendo has never been one to compete with their competitors when it comes to graphics and stuff like that. And I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think this is correct, but I don't know if it's correct, I should say. But like in the GameCube and the PlayStation 2 era, and like even earlier than that, wouldn't you say that they would be like,
yes.
And I guess maybe it wasn't the competition wasn't as steep, but graphically wise, but I would say like they were close back then.
I'm with you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was start with the start of like the HD era with like the Wii and then the split off into Xbox 360 and PS3 where like you can see like where they were going.
Yeah. I just hope why I bring that up is just that even though I agree that they're not doing that now, I hope that we do get to a point where they do it again, because I think they did do it in the past. So it'd be great if they do get this chip and they up their Marios a little bit more. And even though I think the art styles in those games are fantastic, it'd be great if they can push it a little bit further, because then it would be even more magical. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
And the Mario movie puts a little pressure on that as well, because that movie looked so phenomenal. Like the art style, animation, everything looked really good. Like, yeah.
That's a good point, Dan. I wonder if they inadvertently put like pressure on themselves, because now these kids are gonna go see this crazy movie with their stupid little eyeballs have never seen anything like this, and then they're gonna go home and play.
They don't care.
Mario.
They don't care.
That's fair.
Granted, it's anecdotal, but like because of this movie, my friends' kids are playing the NES and SNES Mini. And they're playing Mario on that,
wow.
and they're having a blast. And it's like they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess that's why Nintendo keeps doing it.
Yeah.
As long as it's fun.
Where's our next Mario game? Like,
Gamescom. I don't know.
maybe. Or the next
August?
Switch.
No, Miyamoto said it's coming in a feature direct. So not Gamescom.
All right.
I guess we'll keep waiting. And we'll keep waiting for the Switch 2. Who knows? All right, guys. Anything else before we close out the show here?
Gaming.
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 Thank you to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, not SoundCloud, I don't know why I said that, it was habit, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
Check your body for lumps.
Probably should do that. Also use code Daniel Prindle at your Whole Foods to get 15% off your man meat.
Wolverines.
Oh my goodness.
Why is Whole Foods carrying man meat?
They're branching out, man. Spreading out.
Mario Party Brothel House, says Turek in the chat.
Oh,
God.
Wow.
Oh! That's
He also-
the taste.
Oh, God.
That's an exclusive for the post show. You got to see, Kirik. That's an exclusive.
I didn't know we were still
I'm
on.
clipping
Oh,
that.
we're
I'm clipping
still-
that. I'm clipping that. I'm
Yeah.
clipping that. I'm clipping that.
We are definitely still live, and that is a clip and a half right there.
Damn.